Good morning. My name is Tricia Kaufman, and I'm the Executive Director of East Metro Women's Council. I encourage you to take another look at the bookmark with the beautiful poem on it that our children have created for you. Home is where we leave from and go back to. It's a very simple thing, isn't it? I'll tell you what home means to me. When I was a kid, it meant the backyard where I played kick the can with my friends. It was the kitchen table where I did my homework every day. It was the bedroom that I shared with my sister and would talk into the night about all kinds of things, big and small. I lived in the same house from the age of 2 until I was 22, and my mom still lives in that house. It's the place where I felt safe and warm and loved. Yet many children don't have a place to call home, and that's why we're here today at Century College in this wonderful institution of learning that brings us knowledge and skills and hope for a meaningful, productive life. And that's what our founding mothers envisioned for us when they created East Metro Place nearly 13 years ago. They knew that if we were to keep children safe and housed, their parents would need a good education in order to get a good job. And most importantly, they would need an affordable place to live while they pursued those goals. East Metro has changed a lot in those 13 years. We now have programs in Ramsey and Washington County that house 250 homeless men, women, and children every year. Just this past year, we expanded East Metro Place to add 14 new units of permanent supportive housing for families who have histories of long-term homelessness or other special needs that make it difficult for them to move on after just a year or two. It's hard for me to believe that it's been 9 years since I came to East Metro. Frankly, I never imagined that I would still be here after all this time. But there is something special about East Metro Women's Council that keeps you connected and wanting to do more. For me, it's having my office right there at East Metro Place and getting to see the kids every day. Every single day, I get to see what a difference safe and affordable housing can make in the life of a child and her family. I saw the difference it made for a young boy named Danny and his family. Danny, his mom, and his 2 sisters were living in a tent in the Lake Elmo Park Reserve before they came to East Metro Place. Danny's mother had been homeless several times in her life, beginning at age 15 when her parents threw her out of the house, and she was homeless yet again, but this time with her children. Danny had special needs and created a lot of chaos in his family. In fact, it was mostly his behavior that caused them to lose their housing and move into the tent in the park. But after about 6 months at East Metro Place, amazing things began to happen. Danny and his mother entered counseling. He learned to control his anger and impulsiveness, and she learned how to be a more effective and loving parent. Danny's sisters enrolled in our after-school tutoring program, and the older one was teamed up with a mentor, and they both really began to blossom. And after trying for many years, Danny's mother finally earned her high school diploma in 1 year at East Metro Place. She was such an inspiration to the other students at her school that she was selected to speak at her graduation ceremony, where she talked about the support that she got from East Metro. Danny and his family left East Metro Place several years ago, and they continue to live in a lovely townhome in Oakdale. As Danny found out, East Metro Women's Council provides much more than just housing. We provide a support network of people and services that help keep families stable and moving towards their goals. We provide financial assistance to help with car repairs and school supplies. We provide education on budgeting and parenting and how to be a responsible tenant. We have after-school tutoring and mentoring and art camps. We work hard to help erase, or at least to overcome, the fear and the isolation and the trauma that comes from losing your home. But there is much more for us to do. There are actually more homeless children today than there were homeless people of all ages just 15 years ago. Right now, East Metro is forced to turn away 5 out of every 6 families who call us looking for housing. There are more families like Danny's out there, just looking for a place to call home, and we must be ready to answer the call. Cuts in government grants and benefits for our families mean that we now have fewer resources to give them at a time when they need more. Foundations usually want to fund only certain programs, regardless of where the money might be needed most. We recently hired a children's services coordinator, Mike Higgins, our very first. And he is wonderful. The children adore him. But we house nearly 200 children a year, and we need more children's services. We need the resources just to maintain the services and workshops that our families need to learn new skills, and then to move on, like Danny and his family did. Housing only one of every 6 families who need it is simply not good enough. I dream of the day when we don't have to turn anybody away. I dream of the day when we can house every family who calls us in distress, looking for a place to stay, for a kitchen table where their children can sit and do their homework and get tucked in at night. Children don't deserve to be homeless. If we did what was best for children, we wouldn't wait for them to become homeless before we housed them. We wouldn't say that they had to fit this program or that. We would simply take them by the hand and say, yes, we have a place for you. You can help us say yes. Thank you for coming this morning.